What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your second stimulus check update. And in this video, we're going to go over the misinterpretation of words from the White House regarding the second stimulus check and other related stimulus check news. But first, if you haven't yet, click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. This way you won't miss out on second stimulus check update videos and also unemployment extension updates. My wife and I do all the research for you so we can bring you all the information in a quick, concise video each day. And don't forget to smash the like button for us down below. It really helps out our channel. Okay, first up, there's a lot of confusion and people misreporting information wrong about what Mike Pence said regarding stimulus checks. They're saying that Mike Pence, the vice president, said that there will be no more stimulus checks. And what he actually said is there will be no more stimulus checks without Congress's approval. And, that's just people trying to spin it the wrong way because some people think that negative news travels faster and it creates more buzz. I am not the negative news type of spinner. I like to bring positive news, positive energy, a positive uplift to your day. I do report the negative news, but I don't spin things negatively. There's some people that do that, and I just don't really like or appreciate doing that. So Mike Pence said that there will be stimulus checks when they have approval by Congress. Now, in comparison, we had that big speech by President Donald Trump. I covered it in this video. I'll just assume you have already watched it by this point. If not, I'll link to it at the end of this video. It's a very important speech and announcement by President Donald Trump. He says that if Congress doesn't come to an agreement, that they've been exploring ways on how they can pass a second stimulus check before the election without Congress's approval and to do it through a presidential executive order. He states that there's $300 billion in a fund that has already been earmarked for stimulus relief, for pandemic relief, and that they might be able to do that through a presidential executive order, that they're exploring those options if Congress can't come to an agreement. And the White House and Republicans are pushing very hard for more stimulus checks, unemployment extension, and PPP money for small businesses, and they really want to get this passed before the election because it helps their chances for a re-election, and maybe they're doing it out of the goodness of their hearts. We like to think that they do, but I've had a lot of comments from you guys saying that Congress doesn't do anything out of the goodness of their hearts. You guys could let me know your thoughts down below, but maybe there's some good in them, maybe. We still have about 29 million Americans receiving unemployment and unemployment boost money right now due to the pandemic. These are very high levels. In comparison to the Great Depression, there was about 15 million people out of work and unemployed during the Great Depression. We now currently at this point have 29 million people, and we're not even in the thick of things where we were a couple months ago when we were in the full-on shutdown. Now, of course, we have more people today than we did back in 1929 and 1930 and 31, but just to see these levels are still double what they were the Great Depression days at their all-time peak, that have more than double the amount of people unemployed right now, and we're not even in a full-blown shutdown. Things are still very bad. We're seeing now about 1 million new unemployment claims every single week. It was about 888,000 this week, but that was adjusted for seasonality, and they also didn't include the people that were unemployed and were self-employed or independent contractors. If you add that in, it's still over 1 million people, and that's 1 million people, new people, claiming unemployment for this week for the first time around. So that's 1 million new people that are losing their jobs every single week. As some people are going back to work, we're still seeing millions of people, 4 million people a month, losing their jobs every single month due to the pandemic, and businesses struggling right now to stay in businesses. A lot of businesses like airlines, the travel industry, the cruise industry, restaurants, your local everyday mom and pop shops. A lot of those businesses, their revenue are still down by 50%. And your average everyday business does not have a 50% profit margin, which means those small business owners are going to work every day and making no money. They're not making any profit, and they're struggling to just keep their doors open. And a lot of them aren't. A lot of them are going out of business. And that's part of the reason why we're still seeing 4 million new people lose their jobs every single month right now. In the next stimulus package, both sides, the Republicans and the Democrats, do want to pass more PPP money, Paycheck Protection Program money, for small businesses that will help the small business owner pay the paychecks of their employees, and this will bring them some relief if they can come to an agreement on the second stimulus package. Both sides want PPP money, and both sides also want $1,200 stimulus checks and stimulus checks for all dependents this time around, although we're not sure if it's going to be $500 or $1,200 for dependents and people that are claimed as a dependent on somebody else's tax returns. And also both sides want an extension of the unemployment money to go to the end of the year. The negotiations between the Republicans and the Democrats have us closer than ever to do that. And then we also had the president's big speech where he announced that not only does he want to send out stimulus checks right now, but if they can't do it, that he might take a presidential executive order and do it on his own. We now have 45 different states that are approved for the unemployment boost money or the bonus money that was passed by the presidential executive order. We have several states that are already paid out and have paid the money, including back pay. Those states are Alabama, Arizona, Louisiana, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Missouri, Montana, North Carolina, Rhode Island, Tennessee, and Texas. We're getting more states that are coming online every single day. Well, not every day, but every few days with actually paying out the money. 45 states are approved for the money. Those are all these states that say payment pending here. Payment pending means that they could pay out the money at any given day now. It could be at 1 day for some states. It could be 5 days. It could be as much as 10 days. I think a lot of the states are getting closer. We're seeing more states come online with actual payments paid. This second column here is how many weeks they paid. I'll scroll up here a little bit for you guys. This weeks paid column is how many weeks those states paid of back pay, and all these payment pending states should be done soon. If they're the pre-application states and the other states that will decline, South Dakota just decline the money. They don't want to give their unemployed any extra money, even though it comes from the federal government, not from the states. But like Nebraska, Nevada, they're only applied, and Kansas and DC are paying a pre-application, so they're even further behind in the process. We also had word from FEMA that the money for this unemployment, which the president passed through the disaster relief fund, that money is going to be running out here in the next week or so. So I think a lot of states they're going to get paid. They're going to do their 4 or 5 weeks back pay, and then they're going to run out of money. So that is going to create a new urgency for Congress to pass a actual stimulus package that extends the unemployment and also passes stimulus checks to the people. So we're probably going to have a lot of activity on that this week when they come back from recess, and everybody has a new lighted fire underneath them to get this stuff done before the elections, before a lot of these guys are up for re-election, and they want to show that they've made progress on this stuff, and they want to pass more unemployment extension and stimulus checks so that they can get reelected, have a better chance of getting reelected, and also provide some help for the people of their states. Over half of U.S. households spent their first stimulus check just on necessities like food and rent, and a lot of the people voting on this know this, and they've been urging Nancy Pelosi and the Republicans to just come to a deal so that they can get money just for basic necessities to go out to the people. The majority of Americans, 59% of people, use their check just to pay for daily expenses like food and bills. The largest portion of respondents, 66% of people, said they used at least some of their stimulus check money to pay for food. That's not surprising, as around 26 million American adults reported in July that people in their households were not getting enough to eat because they did not have the funds to pay for food. I'm going to link you to a video here in just a second that is having free food provided for families across the United States. But first, just make sure you've hit the like button for me down below. It really helps out our channel, and subscribe if you haven't yet. You can click on this top video to watch that video about families receiving free food. That's a new thing till the end of the year. And this bottom video is about that announcement by President Donald Trump about the stimulus checks. And this video teaches you how to start a business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have students that have replaced their entire 9-to-5 income, and I teach them how to do that. Click on one of those videos to watch them next. Thanks, and I will see you in the next video.